Shout out to Marco Pedrano, AMG, Victor, Alfredo Jr., Dan Real, Bitmantis, Christopher Graves, Mada Alcusa, Nathan Arseno, and Touch My Dilly.
Welcome back, Gaming with King family, to another F1 Clash video. We are here for the opening round of the Italian Grand Prix. So we're going to be jumping into it here and see what we can do. So we're going to be doing our first 4 races here as we still attempt to get our P1 in champions, in contenders. So we could get that 75% for our CC score at least. So we're using Gasly and we're using Seb Vettel here for this one. So let's go see what we can do, if we could get some good matches, some lucky matches, hopefully today. 55% chance of rain for the first race. Let's jump on into it. Remember to smash that like button if you haven't already done so, and let's jump straight into this video. Here we go for our first race. 55% chance of rain at Italy here. So I'm not sure if it's gonna rain in qualifiers or throughout the race, but let's wait and see. If we do get some rain, then we'll adapt with our strategy towards that. All right. So let's see if we get our 1-2 qualifiers, or if we're gonna be starting off with some snag qualifying. Let's see. Qualifying looking tight. 1-2 it is for us. So we'll take that, and it's gonna be wet into dry. All right, wet into dry. We're gonna give. Let me see. I want to give the tune, and I want to give the Prince. We could go Cuppa because I have a good amount of that, and save on our Prince wear, but it's all right. We'll go with these. All right, so 4 minutes of rain, so that's gonna be mostly a wet race. And we're gonna start off with boost here and let both our drivers go pull away for 3 laps, then come back to pit. Then we could conserve and then we could go back to finish, as we should create a huge amount of distance for ourselves here. There you can see our drivers creating a huge amount of distance nice and early, taking the lead of this race, taking control of this race nice and early, putting up a huge lead. As we see our driver with the tune in front, so he should be getting a faster pit stop than Vettel. That's why I kind of put the tune at the front there, so he could get that faster pit stop. And we see the tune pulling away from the Prince boost here as well, as our drivers should be setting some extremely fast laps throughout these first stint. And we're gonna bring our drivers back to pit here, both of them. We're basically halfway through the track, out in the lead, and Vettel's still setting good sector 2s. And we're gonna just go in here for pit stop, and we're gonna cut down. All right, so we got a beautiful pit stop with both our drivers still out in the lead. And we're gonna cruise now for 3 more laps, and then we're gonna come back to pit. So we have basically half a lap of lead, and we see the rival stock in there. And still gets the exit in P3 and P4. And here comes Gasly lapping up to number 10, up to number 9 now. And here comes first Vettel lapping up to number 13. All right, so we're gonna start our boost from the 6th lap to go to pit. Or we could save that fuel and boost at the end, mainly for the last 2 laps if we choose to. But we are way out in the lead here, so I'm not going to be boosting at all. I'm just going to let my drivers drive and conserve. We're going to go no servicing, because we're just going to go conserve to the finish here. Just so we don't push our drivers too hard and any of them crash. All right. Whenever your drivers are way out in the lead like this, your car is highly likely to crash if you have them on full boost. So it's best to, whenever you have your drivers out in the lead like this, you keep them on conserve to prevent them. Try your best to prevent them from crashing, because if the game is going to crash you, there's nothing you can do about that. You're going to crash. But you want to try your best to not push the game or force the game to crash you. So one of your drivers crash out. All right. So since we've created a huge lead and we have a great lead here, we'll just conserve for now. Let's try to get some screenshots for the thumbnail here at Monza. Beautiful one off Vettel there. Let's see if we can get a nice one off Gasly. All right, so we're going to get one of Gasly lap in. No, that one wasn't a good one at all. All right, that was a good one. And we want to take a front one of Gasly lap in. Beautiful. All right, beautiful shot there. Going to the finish now. And there we go. Another beautiful one of Gasly lap in there. And there goes Vettel across the line. So we'll now wait for our rival to complete his race, and then we can move on to the next race. All right. So that was a great first race. So we'll just wait. Hang tight a little bit for our rival Verstappen to finish. And there he goes, finishing. So that should be it for us to go on to the next race. Let's take a quick look. We got the fastest lap. All right, so level 5 Vettel at the level 4 Verstappen. And he had, we kind of had the better car here with the Mirage level 6 in there, which is stronger than the level 9 Spirit. All right, so that's why we're using the Mirage level 6 and no longer using the Spirit or the Whirlpool, because at this level the Mirage is stronger. So when that Spirit and that Whirlpool get up to the next level, then we'll go back to using those parts that are stronger. Here we go for our next race. We are on Singapore for this one. Let's see what kind of qualifiers we're going to get in this one. If we're going to continue with our front row qualifying, or are we going to get thrown in the back or in the midfield with a snag qualifying? You never know with this game. Never know. So you just have to wait and see where your luck is on the day. So here we go for qualifiers. Let's see where our luck is today. Looking like we're gonna hold the lead. Nice 1-2, great. 5-8 for the rival. So he did not do 3-4 there. All right, so for this one, we're gonna go with the Jin. And for Vettel, we want something else with corners and grip. We're not gonna be using our downforce. We could use like one of these weird boosts like the Tulip. Let's go Tulip on Vettel. Let's test the Tulip on Vettel. He's going to have fast pit time with it, and he has a higher reliability and a higher defense. So let's see if the Tulip would allow our Vettel to perform. We're going to boost for 3 laps here and then come back to pit. Hopefully Vettel can stick with Gasly, as Gasly is going to pull away here with the Jin, as it has good corners and good grip. And a track like this, you definitely need corners and grip. As you can see, the Tulip is barely following the Jin at this point. Barely. But we're going to use the fast pit time on the Tulip to cut down that time that we lost on the push laps. Alright. So let's keep pushing. We're going for 3 laps. Full boost. Hopefully we could create a good amount of distance by the time we should go to pit, so we can get that nice free pit stop, and then we'll just come back to mediums and we'll cruise to the finish from there. as all we need to do is create that distance. Basically, here you see now Gasly setting a good sector 1, and he's going for the fastest lap here, as the Tulip is trying its best to keep up, but it's not keeping up. Just to show that a car with a higher reliability is not going to outperform a car with a higher grip or aero around a track like Singapore here, right? And I don't know why did Hutch make boosts like these with that high reliability, because it really doesn't do too much anymore since the new servicing feature out in the game. All right, so let's go back to pit now for fresh mediums, which are going to be going to the end. As you can see, Gasly has created a huge amount of distance on Vettel with the Tulip boost. Definitely not good enough to keep up, and he's going to get a free pit stop, and the Tulip is not going to be anywhere near to stock here. And he's just going to pull out, and here comes the Tulip for a hit stop. It's going to have a faster pit time stop though, so there we see. Nice. So the Tulip basically saved 2 seconds off of Gasly with that pit stop there, because Gasly did a 5 something, the Tulip did a 3 something, so about 2 seconds saved there. So the Tulip picked up 2 seconds on Gasly via pit, and we're just going to cut our drivers now down to conserve, as we have a nice lead at this point. We have a huge lead. Even the Tulip has a good lead. As we see the rival sending his Vettel around for another lap. Let's see what tires and Leclerc is on hards. So Leclerc is going to be going to finish on those hards. Is number 5 Lewis Hamilton. Yep, so Leclerc and Hamilton are going to be going to finish on those hards. They're not going back to pit. The rival will be going to pit with his Vettel there. Number 6, I think, will be going to pit as well. So even on conserve, number 7 went to pit. There goes the number 6 flying by. Even on conserve, you can see the Tulip boost here is basically not good to even catch up to the Jin on conserve. So boosts like these, the Tulip they basically have no place. So they're like common and rare cards. They're just placeholders. Nothing else, nothing less. Nothing more, nothing less. Just placeholders to keep your eyes off of the good boosts, the great boosts, like the Jin here, like the Downforce, like the Hex. Those are the good boosts. Alright, so one more lap to go, and that should be our second 47 of this video. Let me know if you guys are enjoying these front row gameplay videos. Next event, hopefully I will be going back to Champions GP. I think the Tulip is the boost of this event as well. Yeah, I think so. So next event, I'll be definitely going back to Champions GP. I just want to get that contenders win, so I cannot worry about that anymore. So just in case if the season progresses and I don't get a chance to win any GP events in the Champions GP, I will be at 75% on the pit on the season score for GP finishes. All right. And as I said, you just want to keep your drivers cruising. You don't want to push them too hard so they crash, or the game force them to crash, you know. Just want to let them cruise. Once you create that distance, you just want to cruise for the remainder of the race. Let your drivers cruise to finish. Especially if you're going up against an AI rival and not a real rival. Alright. Alright, there we go. Great second match. Let's go on into our third and see if we keep that luck going. The third match is always the snag match. After your first 2 races, you get good qualifiers. The third one is normally the snag match. All right, and if the third one is not the snag, then the fourth one will try to be the snag. And if none of those are the snag, then the snag is coming, bro. A snag will definitely come. Alright, let's take a look at our rival. We're outmatched on team score. Level 4 Vettel with a level 4 Hamilton, and we had the better car as well. Alright, so yeah, that match should not have happened, but it is what it is. Hutch decides that those matches are fair, so all you gotta do is race. And if you think it's not a fair match, then don't race. Alright, let's jump into the next one. Here we go for our next race. We're on Japan for this one. I think this one is 44 or something % chance of rain. Let's see if we are going to get that snag qualifiers here in the third, or if we're going to get another 1-2 qualifiers here. Let's wait and see. Where is that snag qualifiers going to come in? I'm still looking for it. Yep, always looking for that snag qualifier. So wet qualifiers it is. We should do good in the wet on qualifiers with Vettel and Gasly here. There we go. So this one is not the snag 1-2 for us, and it's going to be a dry, so we're going to go mediums. Alright, so a track like this, again, will take the good corners and arrows. So any boost with good corners and arrow would be a good boost for a track like this. So we give the Jin, and let's see if we could find another boost with good corners and arrow that could outpace the Jin. Alright, so we're gonna give the odd to or Vettel. So the hard gives good corners and a little more, I don't know, a little bit of grip, but it gives a fast pit time. So we want to see if the Jin boost is going to outperform the odd boost on our first 3 laps of boost here. All right. So that will show you, kind of give you an idea of the grip to arrow ratio. As you can see, Gasly attempted to pass there, and he's going to keep attempting for this 3 laps of boost, because we want to see that grip to arrow ratio. So if you get a good balance of grip and arrow compared to a good balance of arrow with low grip, which one would perform better? Vettel is out in clean air, so he's using that clean air to his advantage, while Gasly is just sticking behind him here with that Jin. Alright, so you clearly see the performance of a boost with arrow and grip here at Japan is what you want to be using. So any boost with arrow or grip works great here at Japan, as it's an arrow and grip kind of track. Slow corners and fast corners, and not a lot of straights. So we're gonna go to pit now for mediums, as the Jin is not leaving him at all. Alright, so the Jin not leaving the odd boost at all, but the odd will get that faster pit time, so we won't stock too much in the pit stop. We cut them down as we're going to be cruising for the last 4 laps. Alright, there goes the odd 3-4-2, and here comes the Jin with a 4-8-4. Alright, and we got out in front of the rivals, who are now in for their stops, and we have a nice little lead to the rival there. So that's beautiful, and we're just gonna cruise with our drivers mainly from here, just to cruise on home for the remaining 4 laps. All right, so there we go, looking good. Let's see if we can get some screenshots for thumbnail right there in Japan. Let's see if we can get a front shot with Gasly. Beautiful. All right. As we keep pushing. Looking good. Both drivers are in the lead, catching up to those back markers now with Vettel. blue flag inland stroll. Took that corner a little bit weirder there. ALBY coming out in the blue flag, so he moves to the side. And as you can see, the Jin is still following the odd boost. I think the Jin has even gained some time on the odd boost here on conserve. As you can see, the Jin is just right up on the odd. So boost with more grip and arrow would work really great. So more grip and corners will work really great here on Japan. Alright, so a boost like the Jin, good boost for Japan. Downforce, good boost for Japan. Anything that gives you corners and arrow, good boost for tracks like Japan. Tracks like Singapore, same thing. Slow and fast corners with a little bit of straight. So boost that gives you more corners and arrow turns out to be a better run there. As you can see, Gasly is basically catching up to Vettel here. But great drive from both drivers. And we're going to take another 47 points as our rival tries to complete his race. There we go. There we go. See if we can get a shot with both our drivers in it. Let's see. Yeah, that could work. Oh, this one looks better. Let's take that. Yeah, that one looks a lot better. Wow, this one looks even better. And the Jin right up on the odd boost. So the odd did not get a chance to pull away there because it had a lower amount of grip compared to the Jin. But yeah. Alright, so let's take a look at the debriefing real quick and then we'll jump on to our final race. Level 4 Vettel, level 4 Verstappen. Pretty decent car as well. Here we go for our final match of the video. We are on the dreaded Canada. And I feel like if the snack qualifiers is going to come, it's going to come at Canada. Probably it won't come in the opening round because last event or opening round was really nice. We got perfect. I think we did get that snack qualifying in last opening round. Yeah, I definitely think we did. But we're definitely looking for that snack qualifying. And any place that I think it would happen, it would be Canada. Yeah. I would definitely think it would be Canada if it's going to happen. Not today, says Gasly and Vettel. 1-2 for us. Alright, so Canada is a track that kind of requires mostly aero, as it has some long straights, but mostly fast corners. So boosts like the Tune is good, and the Jin as well is pretty good for Canada. If you're kind of in the midfield, the mid of the pack, mediums works great at Canada. I'm going to be doing a stint of 4 laps here on these mediums and come back to pit and just go to finish on 4 more mediums. If you want to go like for boost with corners, if you want to go for boost with corners and tires, like the what's that boost called again? Man, I don't remember the name. Anyways, if you want to go with boost with corners and tires, that will extend your laps on Canada. So you could go like 5 laps on your tires, on your mediums, come back to softs and boost the finish. Alright, so boost with corners works really well for Canada. If you're in the back or midfield, you want to go with boost with corners and tires, like the downforce, or what's that boost called again? I don't remember. I can't remember the name. That gives you 5 tires with some aero. That one. All right. So you could pick that one as well. So you could go for 5 laps on mediums and come back to pit to softs and boost the finish with those corners. As you can see, we're basically almost lapping the pack already, and we're going for 4 laps here at Canada, not 3. All right. So now we're getting to lap in that 3rd and we're just gonna come back to mediums again. And as you can see, the Jin is basically pulling away from Gasly, though he has a higher range of corners than the Jin. That extra grip from the Jin works really well as well. All right, now we're gonna be going into pit, and from there we're just gonna cruise on to the finish for another 47 points. So if you're wondering, like, how does those guys in the Champions GP, how do they get like 47s all the time? This is the reason: because their accounts are maxed out, and they have max parts. Some of them are not completely maxed out, but they do have, like, let's say 3 max parts, and they might have 1 max driver and 1 level 7 driver. So their account are pretty max. So each qualifying they do, they will get like a 1-2 qualifiers or a 3-4, or they will be qualifying in the top 5. And once you're qualifying in the top 5, you just need to select the right boost for the track, and the 1-2 is secured just like that, especially using these front row strategy where you push the early laps and just control the race early and pull away, create that distance, then come back to pit and cruise to the remainder of the race. It's easy 1-2. So they pay for their account to be at that level. Nothing is wrong with that. So you that are playing free to play, you cannot complain about their accounts, because they basically paid for where they are at, all right, and what their account can do. So you just have to grind, play where you can win, and win what you can win, and what you cannot win, you just lose and move on to the next race, hoping that you could try and win that race. All right, so that's basically all you got to do. All right, so if you want to play, if you're like not qualifying in champions, if you can only make it like to the opening round and you're not going through the opening round, then you might want to drop down to contenders or challengers GP, where you could get some front row gameplay and enjoy yourself, you know, and have some fun playing the game at that level. All right, so you won't be able to perform great at Champions GP, but then you have the Contenders GP that you might be able to perform great at, or the Challengers GP that you might be able to perform great at. All right, so if you can make it to the opening round in Champions GP, you don't need to drop down to juniors, because you're just not going to be really needing to do that, because juniors is going to be really weak if you can make it through to the opening round in champions. All right, so challengers or contenders, drop down, have some fun, and then once you've had some fun, then you can go back to the struggle of the Champions GP. All right, so that's basically it for today's video. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. What division did you enter into this event? How are you guys doing in your account on this event? Let me know down in the comments. Use code word team score down below to let me know that you made it to this portion of the video. Really appreciate you guys who watch the full videos, for all your support. Also remember to smash that like button. If you're not yet subscribed, remember to subscribe and turn on your post notifications. And I really appreciate all of you guys who smash that like button. It really helps with the videos. All right, so that's basically going to be it. After our first 4 races, we did perfect so far. Hopefully later down when I try to put in my last 4 races, we don't see that snag qualifiers. I'm just gonna let it cool down a bit here. We have been lucky for our first 4 races, so hopefully later down we don't get that snag and get losing out on points. All right, so that's basically gonna be it for this one, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Well, good guys, bye.